Built to Last is brought to you by the Mid-America Carpenters Regional Council Labor Management Committee and Armstrong Ceilings. Faster, easier, better. Welcome to Built to Last. I'm Mark Nilsson. We're here at the Mid-America Carpenters Apprenticeship and Training Center in Kansas City, Missouri. It's right here where the journeymen and women of the future learn their crafts. Built to Last presents stories about the skilled tradespeople of the Mid-America Carpenters Regional Council and the projects they're working on throughout their territory of Illinois, Missouri, Kansas, and eastern Iowa. In this Built to Last feature story, we head to Illinois' capital, Springfield, where skilled carpenters are working to modernize and preserve one of the land of Lincoln's most historic buildings. The Mid-America Carpenters Regional Council aren't only experts in building new structures, but also honor America's past by restoring some of our most historic buildings.
I kind of became the historic project superintendent of our company.
Mid-America Carpenter Mike Reynolds has overseen the restoration of many historic buildings and is now the superintendent on the renovation of the Illinois State Capitol building, which was originally built in the late 1800s.
All the ornate plaster, old school stuff. Decorative painting, the ornate woodwork, it's all a challenge.
We are very fortunate to have tradesmen and women from the Mid-America Carpenters Union here working because it is their expertise in those meticulous details. They have the history, the experience, the teaching that happens within the organization to ensure that the younger generation learns that trade and that craft. And what cooler building to work on than here at the Illinois State Capitol.
With fine craftsmanship honed by years of training and experience, the Mid-America Carpenters Regional Council are bringing modern upgrades to the building while preserving its ornate structure.
Right now, we're just demoing existing trim, encasing, millwork, bringing it back to our shop so we can copy it, so we can refurbish it and reinstall. It's amazing how much it has you focus on history that you didn't pay enough attention to in school.
Gorgeous building. The most beautiful building in Illinois. This building was authorized in 1867. Construction began the next year, 1868.
When the original architect designed the building insulation, vapor barriers weren't really widely used or even thought of at that point. So our goal is to improve every single aspect of the building when we do a renovation.
When it was built, it was the tallest building in the Midwest, one of the tallest buildings in the country. It's pre-skyscrapers, which is very important. What that means is there is no metal infrastructure holding this place up. It's stone on stone on stone. So underneath ground, the stones are up to 16 feet thick, and then they just build their way up. This is still the tallest domed capitol in the country, taller than the U.S. Capitol. It was designed to shock and awe. It's a beautiful mixture of kind of classical artwork and the French Renaissance design, and yet with the Illinois stuff.
Building wasn't built for air conditioning. The building wasn't built for the electricity. They use candles and everything else.
The place has been around since like the late 1800s. So you had the horse and buggy era, there was no DeWalt's, no Milwaukee's. So to see the craftsmanship in this place is just astounding. Throughout the generations, from carpenter to carpenter, from passing down their skills, the skills have only gotten better, the craftsmanship's only gotten better, and for our carpenters in today's generation to duplicate or replicate the skills that were honed 100 plus years ago, it's just incredible to see. This is something that I've always had a passion for, was construction, being a carpenter, and to see these men and women see their skills get put to the task, it's overwhelming.
They're restoring it to how it was in 1888, which I love. This is going to last a long, long time. And it's going to, as far as I'm concerned, be, a showcase for Illinois and certainly for state government.
The Mid-America Carpenters are preserving the craftsmanship of past eras, and they know how important it is to pass down their know-how to the next generation of Union Carpenters.
Carpenters are a prime example of what a fine craftsman should be.
Makes you proud to be part of it in your career, It's just something that you can put a stamp on that I did.
Knowing that the work you're going to do may be seen for 100 years from now by millions of people, that's That's something I've never done before.
Armstrong takes pride in making a positive difference in people's lives. With the broadest portfolio in the industry and proven technical performance, contractors can install with confidence. Our ceiling construction expertise, training, and pre-engineered solutions make it seamless to transition from one end of the building to the other. Solutions like Frame-All drywall grid, including simple soffit prefabricated bend and click soffit framing, the faster, easier, better way to build from Armstrong.
Whether it's residential, commercial, industrial, community, or utility-scale solar systems, developers throughout the Midwest are integrating renewable energy systems into a variety of businesses and construction developments, and this demand is growing every day. The Mid-America Carpenters Regional Council are the skilled energy professionals in building and installing sustainable, precision-built structures, adding value at all the stages of construction.
They're able to look for key advantages that we might be able to implement to install them faster and better.
From solar arrays to wind turbine developments, the Mid-America Carpenters Regional Council provides a professional, skilled, local workforce to build these renewable energy developments throughout the Midwest, providing the highest quality and safety standards in the industry. Insist on the best in delivering your project needs, on time and within budget.
Welcome back to Built to Last. I'm Mark Nilsson. As the towns and cities of our great nation modernize, buildings that were once centers of the community are often forgotten. Such was the case in Paris, Illinois, when the town's old high school was left deserted after a modern facility was built. Rather than destroy the beloved old building, which had become a social hub of the town, the mayor, along with the skills of the Mid-America Carpenters Regional Council, turned the former Hall of Education into another kind of building that would serve the city and some of its most vulnerable citizens.
Paris High School's been here in its current location for more than 100 years.
Most of the people in Paris attended this school, and so it has a special place in their heart.
It was a marvelous building back in the day, and it is now as well. It was the central area for so much activity in town, including plays, basketball games, and higher education.
You know, this is a building that's got a lot of character and structure to it, and it's a sound building.
It's almost like it's got a pulse, like it's got a heart. It was over 100 years old. It was costing more to fix it, costing more to maintain it, and ended up passing by 60% in both school districts to build the new high school. Now you got a beautiful building out on the north side of town, and then we end up with this 100-year-old building, and what are we going to do?
No one wanted to see this building torn down. They wanted to see something done with it.
What I saw in Chicago and what I've seen in Milwaukee are all these old buildings that are being rehabbed. I got a great building for you, and I'm seeing senior affordable living.
I think it's great for the community. It's putting local guys to work. We're here to represent and continue to support the smaller communities.
And I love thinking about seniors living in this space with all these memories. You know, what a wonderful way to live out kind of their golden years. They can reminisce about good times that they had in high school, the friends that they had there. Maybe their friend will end up living down the hall.
We had a couple of hiccups along the way. We lost an investor and had to find another investor. We had to compete against other communities with the Illinois Housing Council to get tax credits. And Illinois tax credits are what makes this project run. You got to keep going if you're going to get one of these projects in your community, especially if they're a smaller community like Paris.
The Paris City Council put together a team to realize their vision of affordable housing in their community and to put Mid-America Carpenters to work.
Probably 15 carpenters on site.
We have all the trades. Every trade that you could imagine is working in there.
In some ways, that building is really well suited for apartments, and in some ways it's better than any new construction apartment we would ever build. It has wonderful, enormous windows, really high ceilings, and the result was much larger units than what we would typically design for this project type. On the converse, every unit is different. There isn't a single one that's the same.
This is an example of one of our one-bedroom apartments. This is an open living room, kitchen area. You've got one bedroom, bathroom, plenty of closet space, very tall ceilings and lots of natural light. All these windows will be replaced before it's all over with brand new energy efficient windows that will make this a great living opportunity.
People who are going to live here will appreciate that some of the things have stayed the same.
Various attributes of the building that have been uncovered during some of the construction and demolition process. They've asked that we've kept those intact and make them some part of the finished product. It's fascinating to see the different layers.
Ryan, the superintendent, has some really neat artifacts showing that it was built Union then, and it's going to be continued to be built Union moving forward.
One of the items that we found was this actual Union Lathers stamp that was found in the stud work of the 1909 portion of the building.
I taught special education, and then I moved on to work with students who needed recovery credits.
Paula is a retired teacher. She's going to be living there.
And we've heard that there are things being discovered that none of us ever got to see, and I think that's what's going to drive the excitement to live here.
But that is hats off to the state of Illinois, working with the city of Paris, working with the trades unions, all of us working together to make this project come together. It couldn't have been one or the other. It had to be all of us together.
I went to school here also, and the thought of living in your alma mater is just something intriguing and enticing for me. I spent 35 years of my life here, and it's nothing but good memories.
Want a great career? Join the Carpenters Union and be part of the next generation building our communities. With the Carpenters Union Career Connections program, high school students get a head start on the industry's leading curriculum. Learn the latest in construction technology and the many skilled crafts the Carpenters Union represents. Plus, earn as you learn. Receive a nice paycheck, health insurance benefits, and best of all, no college debt. Ask your school district to participate in the Career Connections program and get started on your future.
Unions need a collective voice, just like workers do. We built the Midwest Coalition of Labor to bring unions together to provide valuable benefits beyond the health care and retirement that their members already receive. Because we know that with numbers, there is strength. Strength that gives us the purchasing power to negotiate the best supplemental benefits that our members deserve at the lowest cost possible. Because united we bargain, divided we beg. Contact the MCL to see how your union can join our growing coalition.
Welcome back to Built to Last. I'm Mark Nilsson. In August of 2022, Congress passed the Inflation Reduction Act. This green energy bill is focused on driving investment towards renewable energy. The economic incentives offered by this bill, along with the growing interest in clean energy sources, is expanding the solar sector faster than virtually any other industry in the nation. That's why the Mid-America Carpenters Regional Council is putting on a series of events throughout its territory that are bringing together people from every part of the solar sector to show them why union carpenters are the best option to install our nation's future energy infrastructure. As the Mid-America Carpenters Regional Council continues to increase market share in the renewable energy industry, the union has been holding a series of solar boot camps at its Carpenters Training Center locations throughout Illinois, Missouri, Kansas, and eastern Iowa. These boot camps provide an opportunity for contractors to learn more about the solar industry and serve as a showcase to developers to highlight the training and productivity union carpenters bring to every job.
We have the opportunity to have a solar conference. We're actually bringing folks from the industry,
developers, contractors,
manufacturers,
political people,
and potential contractors.
We'll also discuss why to use Union Solar.
The territory covered by the Mid-America Carpenters is poised for massive growth in the solar industry.
It's one of the foremost economic opportunities for people in the metropolitan Kansas City region.
Kansas has more sun than most other states. I think we rank right up there, third or so in the potential for solar power.
We are blessed with sunshine and wind, and because of that, we have a unique opportunity to leverage federal and state partnerships.
We'll do anything in our power to help our contractors and our members in the industry grow this market.
This is our stake in the ground as far as solar is concerned here in the Kansas City market.
Boot camps like this are held at the Mid-America Carpenters training centers to ensure attendees get a first-hand look at the industry-leading training carpenters receive in solar installation.
We have probably some of the best trained workforce and probably the largest workforce that exists.
You look at this beautiful facility that we have here, and you have apprentices that get this unique educational opportunity.
So this is a solar system, kind of like the system that's going in here locally at Hawthorne Power Plant. It's a 10 megawatt system that will rotate and follow the path of the sun. Our goal is to train Mid-America carpenters.
We give them a real life scenario as far as construction and development, from driving a pile to actually mounting its structure, squaring and racking these frames, creating the bonded torque throughout the entire system, and then finally at the end of it, we do have to install the modules.
The reason that we want to use Union in solar is we can specifically design training around the racking systems that we're installing, the modules, and the best practices to put them in place.
And that world-class training program results in safer job sites and enhanced productivity. Skilled Mid-America solar carpenters deliver quality assurance to developers that projects will be completed on time and on budget.
What the Mid-America Carpenters Union brings is a lot of expertise in scaling up industries.
It gives us access to workforce. An international bargaining agreement has a lot of advantage. I send my skilled foreman and can pull from the hall, or I can hire local carpenter contractors.
And you show these developers over a period of time the exceptional amount of value and professionalism that you bring to the arena.
Carpenters do a fantastic job in the pile rack and module installation scopes because they understand how to take appropriate measurements, set appropriate torque values, and ensure that the quality over the length of the project is exactly what we're looking for.
I was just visiting with some of your mill workers, and they were showing me how precise measurements have to be. That's a skill that you don't find in many places, and it's certainly a skill that's needed in the solar.
Since the beginning of the UBC, carpenters and millwrights have been involved with power generation.
We're going to build on that solar energy industry using their skills and talents.
And the partnerships formed at these boot camps mean only good things for everyone involved.
For the Mid-American Carpenters, it's a unique chance because with these apprenticeship programs accepted from the Department of Labor and prevailing wages, this gives us as union contractors an excellent starting position to grow our companies.
When we look at scaling this industry on a large scale, and especially in the Midwest where you have emerging markets in Illinois and many to follow, I think that's going to be a huge benefit.
The advantage is safety orientation, efficiency. So for us, we're absolutely happy being a union contractor.
We've been very successful in recruiting a lot of new businesses into the state of Kansas, and each one of them is interested in renewable energy, and a lot of them are moving towards solar.
Because of our expertise in all of construction, we are the go-to choice. From beginning to end, the carpenters are on the job, ready to make it come in on time and on budget.
As an elected official, I'm so excited about being a good fiscal steward of taxpayer resources by investing in the future of our community.
Solar is already the fastest growing industry in the country, and with the new IRA, it will be outperforming all other industries in growth.
It's absolutely exciting to be part of an industry that's up and growing and to partner with the Mid-American Carpenters as we see that come to fruition.
When we see that there are projects that are somewhere in the excess of 485,000 man hours, that's work that the carpenters should be doing.
Trade up. Trade up. Right here. Right now. Working for a non-union contractor, I never got a pay raise. Now I get a raise every year working as a union carpenter.
No matter how many kids you have, you're fully covered. Every hour you work, money's going into your retirement, your annuity. For non-union, they don't have a school program, classes you can take.
You can take the commercial aspect of it, or you can go the residential.
Trade up.
Trade up. Trade up. Right here.
Right now.
Whether it's residential, commercial, industrial, community, or utility-scale solar systems, developers throughout the Midwest are integrating renewable energy systems into a variety of businesses and construction developments, and this demand is growing every day. The Mid-America Carpenters Regional Council are the skilled energy professionals in building and installing sustainable, precision-built structures, adding value at all the stages of construction.
They're able to look for key advantages that we might be able to implement to install them faster and better.
From solar arrays to wind turbine developments, the Mid-America Carpenters Regional Council provides a professional, skilled, local workforce to build these renewable energy developments throughout the Midwest, providing the highest quality and safety standards in the industry. Insist on the best in delivering your project needs, on time and within budget.
Welcome back to Built to Last. I'm Mark Nilsson. Here now to continue our discussion on solar power is Mid-America Carpenters Regional Council Director of Business Development, Tony Janowski. Tony, thanks for joining us this morning.
Mark, it is a pleasure to be here today.
So the hot topic is solar power, right? So what types of solar projects are the Mid-America Carpenters working on right now?
Mark, that is a great question. There are so many different types of projects that are out there being built. With those different types of projects, there are many opportunities for our members and our contractors.
What kinds of work do carpenters do on these projects?
Our carpenter contractor, he deploys to that project. Our superintendents and foremen are out there. They do the layout of the project, followed then by the carpenters doing the shakeout of the materials. Then it's followed by putting the H-piles into the ground. After those piles are driven into the ground, we have crews that come around and do the racking assembly. Then we have the solar module crews that come in that install the solar modules. And then what they do is they do quality checks, they do torque values, and they move on.
We hear a lot about megawatts when we talk about solar power. When I hear megawatts, I think of Back to the Future. Tony, what are megawatts?
A megawatt is basically a unit measurement of energy. In this case, a solar project would be related to a megawatt project, a 1 megawatt project, or a 25 megawatt project. So when we know that size of the project, we know how to execute that specific contractor for that project. If we're looking at a 1 megawatt project, maybe 6 acres of land, but that 1 megawatt would equate to powering between 650 and 850 homes. So if we go into a 25 megawatt project, obviously a little bit bigger, that particular project would scale up that energy production that actually could power up to 20,000 homes.
Solar seems to be very busy in the Midwest. I mean, it's busy everywhere. It's the hot topic. But what is it about the Midwest that makes it so conducive for a solar project?
That's a great question. As far as the Midwest, it is an untapped market.
Yeah.
Nationally, solar is on the rise. It's the fastest growing sector right now in the United States. What's driving that market? You're looking at just federal tax incentives. You're seeing a market transformation from fossil fuel dependence to a reliance on clean energy renewables. Technology is changing so fast. And with technology changing, these solar projects are producing more energy at a lower cost per watt than would fossil fuel production. So, it's a return on investment is what we're saying.
So now you explain megawatts, but what are some of the larger solar projects the Mid-America Carpenters are currently building?
We have the largest solar project going on right now in the Midwest. It's 692 megawatts.
Wow. That's a lot of megawatts.
It's a lot of megawatts, and it's over 4,000 acres. And when it's done, those carpenters will have installed 1.6 million solar panels on this project. So when you talk mega project,
that's
very, very big.
Yeah.
So Not only that, though, is we've got about 400 projects that we've had installed over the last 2 years throughout our jurisdiction. And, there's a lot of opportunity for recruitment. We're just not building these things and walking away from them. We're making sure that we're hiring from the local community and that we're also engaged in these underrepresented communities and, bringing in a next generation workforce.
There must be a huge demand for skilled carpenters to work on these projects. What is being done to recruit carpenters to the solar field?
Here's what the carpenters want to do. If you want to pick up a hammer or if you got a good attitude and if you're dependable, we want you in our union. So what we're doing as far as the solar industry goes, we are recruiting for solar, but we don't want to just pigeonhole that individual into just being a solar installer. They're going to come in under our craft. They could pick from being a general carpenter to going into the residential, a commercial carpenter doing concrete. They could be a millwright where they're actually already working in that power generation by fixing all those turbines and maintaining those turbines in those nuclear plants and coal-fired plants that are already going on. So what we want to do here is, as far as recruitment, it's a multi-pronged strategic plan. We're being aggressive as going to the high schools. We're seeing that the vocational trades are being diminished a little bit, with cutbacks. So we're trying to provide them with curriculum. We also have articulation agreements with community colleges, and that's important because once these students come out of college, at least they got an avenue if they want to join the Carpenters Union. So excellent benefits, excellent wages. We're working with the veterans. We got to take care of our veterans. So we have our Helmets to Hard Hats program. They come in, we put them in here and give them those career pathway opportunities. They go to the express lane. One of our biggest recruitment efforts is our own members. They are invested in that community. They are the baseball coaches, the girls softball coaches, they're the cheerleading coaches, they're the Boy Scout and Girl Scouts. They help out there. So we're doing mentorship at all levels. We're hoping that by showing that we're investing in the community, we want to make sure that that message being delivered is the message out of the Mid-America Carpenters. We want you in our Carpenters Union.
Tony, we could do an hour on solar power. Thanks for all the info today. Where can people go for more information if they need it?
You can go to www.carpentersunion.org, or they could send a direct email to solarenergy@carpentersunion.org, and we'll put you in the right place if it's, recruitment, if you want to join the union, or if we have a developer out there that wants to utilize one of our solar contractors for their build, or if we have solar contractors that want to join the union, we'll take you as well. So that's it. So really a pleasure being here, Mark.
Tony, megawatts of information today. Thank you so much, buddy.
Thank you, buddy.
That's all for this episode of Built to Last. Be sure to follow us on social media at Built to Last TV. We'll see you next time.